Ready Player One, this is one, Greg, that you actually do want to see now, but initially you didn't want to.
Well, I saw the trailer and it just looked like a noisy, CGI-heavy film, you know. And then at the end, it said directed by Steven Spielberg.
Right.
Okay, I'm in.
Christian and I both checked this out. It is heavy on the CGI, but it's one of these worlds where you're going into this kind of virtual reality to escape the rest of the world. Which going into the
Sign me up.
Yeah, well, and it's and it's in the future. It's in the not too distant future, and the world has changed. And there was this kind of a Steve Jobs type genius that has developed this place called the Oasis, and it's where everyone goes to escape, and you can be anything and go anywhere you want to within this
Is
virtual
Oasis
universe.
Virtual?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. It is the virtual universe, and everybody has access to it. Even those who have barely enough money to eat find ways to have access to this because this is their escape. And
Kind of like the Cleveland County Fair.
yeah, exactly like the Cleveland County Fair. That's exactly right.
Without the corn dogs.
Well, no corn dogs. I don't know that they had corn dogs in the Oasis.
I mean, you can do whatever you want in the
I
Oasis.
guess so. If you want corn dogs, you can find
yours.
corn dogs in
Fried
the Oasis.
Oreos?
Fried Twinkies,
Right.
fried liver mush, all sorts of stuff.
Leave
in
it to
the
Spielberg
Oasis.
to put the good stuff in, right?
Yes, exactly right. So you have this Oasis, you have this genius who has passed away, and he's left basically this treasure map. And this treasure map will allow anybody who finds the Easter eggs or finds the keys to control the Oasis and also get a bunch of money in the process. That's kind of the storyline.
Yeah.
And so you've got corporations trying to do this, you've got individuals trying to do this, and there's one lead character who is just kind of a normal guy who is pretty good at this. And he's the one that kind of starts the journey of finding the keys to paradise, so to speak, with a lot of things in his way. What else do you want to add about the story that you think is imperative for people to know about the story?
Well, not so much a story as just a feature of the film is there's a lot of switching back and forth, as you can see in the trailers even, between reality and this Oasis. So you get a lot of live action performance, but then you also get a lot of this virtual reality where you're watching their avatars interact with the virtual world around them. So I think that was a really interesting move to switch back.
Yeah, and I was actually concerned going in, how will that work?
Yeah.
But it worked really well.
Spielberg said that was the biggest challenge for that film, was making the audience care about the avatars. Because if they didn't, it wasn't going to work.
Well, and you did. To me, the transition between the worlds felt seamless to me.
It
felt
did,
real.
because of the fact that I wasn't even thinking about the fact, oh, we're back to that animated character.
Right.
It was just like, oh, there's that dude.
It's an extension of the character.
It's the extension of the real life
Yeah.
character, which is how they portrayed it to be in the world, but it's also how it came across in the
Yeah.
film, which the transitions were just seamless.
Talking about Easter eggs, just a million or so Easter eggs from Spielberg, from pop culture, from so many different things, especially throughout the 80s, that show up in this film. It was, to me, this was a wonderful film. It was a wonderful adventure. If you like Spielberg adventures, I think this has all the elements of that. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
When it ended, I said, this was just a fun escape, much like going to the Oasis was for many of them.
Or the fair.
I'm sorry?
Or the fair.
Or the fair. Yeah. But it was just a lot of fun. I mean, I didn't think it was the best film in the world, but I gave it a solid B+. Well worth checking out, and I'm glad I got a chance to see it. What was your rating?
I gave it an A-, so we were pretty close. And it was really just a breath of fresh air for me, because not just the music, everything in the film really was that throwback, classic Spielberg adventure film that we had so often in the 70s and 80s. And he's moved more now towards the biopics.
Right.
But it was so great to see him, because in a film like this, you can't beat a Spielberg adventure film. And it was just so well made. I smiled the entire time. And even a little bit of kind of cultural concerns that he brings up with, like, where are we going with technology and our virtual reality, and kind of it balances the importance of how much time should we spend there, and I thought that was interesting.
Well, there was a key message that actually talked about the importance of living in the real world and not living only for escape.
Yeah.
Finding a way to connect with humans and human, personalities. And
I wish
that
I
human
could figure out
connection.
what the key is to that one.
Well, after the break, maybe we'll come back and maybe Catherine Manning can let Mr. Tillman over there know exactly what it is, how he can find human connections and live in this real world. You are watching Meet Me at the Movies. Christian, thanks for joining us. We'll be back with Catherine. She'll be out here, and we'll send Christian back to Mission Control with the Timinator right after this quick break.